Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We are very happy to have you here for the info sharing session, whereby we will be sharing more about our launch of WSQ courses, as well as how it will be able to support individuals as well as enterprises and organizations. So the outline for the info session will go roughly something like this, whereby we will share a bit more about the WSQ courses, and then we will share how these WSQ courses are going to meet the demand in tech. And not just that, we also share about how we will support the individuals as well as organizations. And of course, with WSQ courses, we will be able to share a bit more about the funding support for self-sponsored individuals, for enterprises who are going to send their staff for these courses. Of course, we also share the course schedule that is scheduled to run in early 2023. And we will also share a bit more about the CCP for product managers, which is now renamed as Career Conversion Program for Tech Professionals, Product Managers, and how these WSQ courses will be able to, in a way, complement the CCP PM. And also, if any individuals or enterprises are interested to find out more, we'll share how you'll be able to get into contact with us. And of course, we will have the floor to ask any questions with regards to the WSQ courses or with regards to any queries related to CCP PM. So first off, a little background about CuriousCore. So we are actually a training partner for mid-career professionals, whereby we would like to help professionals as well as organizations to stay relevant in a changing world driven by tech through our learning workshops that are designed by adult learners. So some of the companies that we have worked with So the WSQ courses that we are going to talk about mainly is the WSQ Product Management, Synchronous, as well as WSQ User Experience Design, Synchronous. So to help reference throughout this program, or rather this info session, I will be using WSQ PM as well as WSQ UXD in order to help with the explaining of some of the terms, as well as some of the funding support, as well as the schedule. But it is important to understand why are we using WSQ, as well as why are we going through this accreditation system together with by SkillsFuture Singapore, because we feel that it can help to train and develop certain skills and competencies for the workforce. And this is also accredited by the SkillsFuture Singapore in terms of getting statement of attainments, or moving towards the job role of maybe in technology as well as in the Infocomm sector. Being a training partner, we understand that the tech is a very fast moving space, and product management as well as user experience has always been two of our main course offerings as well as product offerings in CuriousCore. So some of the references, or rather some of the programs that we are running so far, is our own User Experience Career Accelerator, whereby it's a 4-month program targeted at helping individuals acquire user experience skill sets as well as understanding, so that they will be able to get a job in the UX field. And beyond that, we also have our 2-day user experience course as well as our 1-day product management course. Both of them are SkillsFuture credit eligible, whereby learners are able to learn the fundamentals and the foundations of user experience or product management in this 1 or 2-day course. So for product manager, they usually experiment with the acquisition and retention growth of products, and also they help to move everyone in the same direction, and they take ownership of the problems faced in a product development. So when we talk about product development, it can be something as simple as a landing page or a website redesign, or it can be something more complex like an app development or even an interface redesign. So product management and user experience design are actually skill sets and competencies that a PM should be equipped with to perform their job role effectively. And that is why we have gone through the accreditation process by SkillsFuture Singapore to get WSQ PM and WSQ UX out in the market. So like I mentioned, when we are looking at WSQ courses, we are looking to support the skills framework of what SkillsFuture Singapore has. And if you take a look at the product management, or rather the skills framework for Infocomm Technology, and they have a job role for product manager, you'll be able to see the technical skills and competencies required for a PM to perform his or her job role proficiently. And in these technical skills and competencies, TSCs for short, you'll actually be able to see product management as well as user experience design. And this is where our WSQ courses will come in. So the reason why is because we have designed and adopted the curriculum according to the skills framework for for Infocomm under product manager job role. And we are hoping that individuals as well as enterprises who are going to go through these WSQ courses will be able to get some form of statement of attainment and accreditation that is recognized by SkillsFuture Singapore. So beyond that, we would also like to meet the demand in tech, as tech is also highlighted as one of the future economies for growth. As like what I have shared just now, we are also supporting digital transformation. And together with the green and care economies, digital economy has actually been highlighted as one of the 3 economic pillars for growth under the Future Economy report. So tech-like roles like product management or user experience, meaning to say product managers or user experience designers, will actually help individuals to build and develop skill sets that can open more opportunities in the future. So when we talk about tech-like roles, we would refer it more towards roles whereby they do not need extensive technical expertise as well as technical knowledge, as compared to, say, for example, a data analyst or a software developer, whereby they will need to learn different tools or be proficient in different tools and programming languages in order to be able to perform their job role well. But for product managers as well as user experience designers, they have a general overview of different tech tools that can help to perform their job role more effectively. But at the same time, they will also need to go through or be adept in soft skills, in stakeholder management, so on and so forth, to be able to perform their job role effectively in a tech environment. Secondly, is also because of hiring. So a report by CNA that was announced yesterday was that some of the SkillsFuture courses will be refreshed to focus on the digital, green, and care sectors, which are the 3 economies which I've mentioned just now. And because the industries are getting disrupted before and now during COVID, a new generation of professionals with product development smarts is actually needed to steer digital products and services. So being a training partner, supporting the Singapore workforce, we would like to help and play a role in helping the new generation of product managers or even user experience designers to attain the necessary skills and proficiencies so that they will be able to support the digital product development as well. So if you take a look at the report, in the article, some of the jobs that workers can consider, product development actually ranks as one of the 5 for the tech sector. And of course, lastly, it also talks about reskilling to meet the demand in tech. And if you take a look at the recent major tech layoffs by a lot of companies like Meta, Shopee, Razer, if I'm not wrong as well, or even Twitter, you will see it's shown that majority of the roles are actually in non-technical roles, whereby they are in human resources, marketing, or even sales. So we feel that the individuals who are affected by this recent tech layoff, they are able to take advantage of the familiarity of the tech culture that they have been for the past few years, reskill through learning skill sets, or rather a new proficiency like product management or user experience. And they are able to move into a more tech-like role to continue playing a part in the tech industry. So as like what we mentioned just now, the digital economy is earmarked for future growth and demand. So it is good for these displaced individuals to continue playing a role in tech, and at the same time make use of their experience and background in the tech culture to look at some of the roles that are still in demand for tech industries. So right now, I would like to share a bit more about the course information, moving into WSQ PM first, and then I will share a bit more about WSQ UX. So first off, the WSQ PM will cover a total of 43.5 hours of both all three things of training, assessment, as well as oral questioning. So learners will go through 40 hours of training first. That is going to be covered within 2 weeks, and then they will go through an assessment which will be supported by a real life case study, as well as an oral questioning session which will last for around 30 minutes. So the curriculum topics for WSQ PM, is actually we'll look at covering all the different topics, or rather the skill sets and expertise that we feel a PM should be adept in. So let's say, for example, agile mindset and Scrum basics. This is actually a agile methodology for Scrum basics, whereby it will be able to help a product manager format their project as well as their product lifecycle development. And also different things like product strategy, product road mapping. All these are important skill sets for a product manager to be strong in or competent in order to better perform their job role. And beyond just the technical skills and expertise, we are also looking at more soft skills, human skills side of things. So for example, facilitating one-to-one conversations and giving feedback, or even facilitating ideation and prioritization sessions. So these are more, I would say, human skills, whereby PMs will also need to be equipped with in order to manage their roles well, or rather manage their teams well. So there is always a saying whereby product managers, they are effectively leading without authority, and they are sort of mini CEOs of the company. And that is true to a certain extent. So these human skills will be able to help them manage their internal and external stakeholders, as well as, say, for example, their product teams, their customers, or even their C-suite leaders who are looking for updates with regards to any product launches, with regards to any product refresh. So our approach towards this curriculum is really to help the learner to be able to understand the different aspects of product management, and after that, they will be able to look at applying for associate positions in product management or in product generally to help them enter the tech industry. So as mentioned, the first course run for WSQ PM will happen on 10th January 2023. So we are going to split the 5 full day workshops, or rather the 5 full day classes, into 2 different weeks. So if you take a look, 10 to 12, and then 17 and 18 January. So this is where the live classroom training, which is done virtually via Zoom, will be conducted. And after that, we will be the learners will be able to go through their assessment as well as their oral questioning. So do take note that when you're looking at 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. as well as 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. for oral questioning, these are the different time slots available for the learners to attend their oral questioning. Because oral questioning, it happens in a one-to-one format, and we would need to allocate around 30 to 45 minutes per learner to go through this oral questioning with our assessors. So meaning to say, maybe for learner A, he can be in 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. slots, from on 25th January. Then after that, learner B will be taking 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. slot on 25th January. So this is quite fluid in the sense whereby the learners can determine what time they are free, as well as what time they will feel more comfortable with going through this assessment for oral questioning. And they will be able to book the time slots within the first 2 days of the classroom training that's going to happen in on 10th and 11th January. So moving on to the course fees as well as the funding support, the gross course fee would actually be around 2.8K. And because this is a WSQ courses, and because this is a WSQ course, you will be able to see the net funding, or rather the net payable fees on the table to your right side. And this is split into company-sponsored individuals as well as self-sponsored individuals. So not to worry, if you are interested but you are not very certain which funding category you fall into, you can get in touch with CuriousCore. We will be able to do the calculation as well as the checks, so that you will know the amount that you will need to pay upfront after the subsidy. And for self-sponsored individuals, do note that you can actually use your SkillsFuture credit, which is SFC, to further offset the out-of-pocket fees. So let's say, for example, if you are a self-sponsored individual and you are 41 years old and you are a Singapore citizen, you will need to only pay close to $850 for this course fee. And if your SkillsFuture credit, there are still maybe $600 in your SkillsFuture credit wallet, and you choose to use them, you will just end up paying around $250 for 43.5 hours course. So, and in this 43.5 hour course, we will be able to cover the basics as well as some of the technical fundamentals of product management, and and all this will be done via Zoom virtually with our trained instructors as well as assessors. So moving on to WSQ UX, similarly, it consists of 3 different components. So the first one is the live synchronous training, which is done virtually, and then learners will also need to go through a case study as well as oral questioning. So for WSQ UX, learners will go through a 38-hour course instead of 40 hours as compared to WSQ PM. And but the assessment for case study as well as oral questioning will remain the same at 3 hours and 30 minutes respectively. Okay. For the curriculum topics for UX, although you see that there's only 4 curriculum topics, but there will be a lot of practice and there'll be understanding of different tools that will help in user research, user design, and your CX journey mapping. So in these 38 hours, we'll be able to cover and also give learners the time to practice, discuss, and work together in groups in through discussion as well as group activities on learning and sort of understanding the tech tools better, so that they will be able to use them beyond just this course itself. So some of the tools that we usually use are like Figma or InVision, or we also use Miro. We also talk about using Google Forms to set up survey questions, and we talk about how interviews are being conducted so that we will be able to get the important feedback that we are looking for. So all these will be covered in the 38 hours curriculum. And for WSQ UX, it will start its run on 14 February 2023. And if you take a look, it is also split into 2 different weeks. And most of them will happen on 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., except for the last day, whereby it's 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. because it is a 38-hour course instead of a 40-hour course. So similarly, the following day, they will need to go through a case study assessment and then also choose a time slot for their oral questioning, which will be done 1-to-1. So this is the cost fees and funding table that you're looking at. For WSQ UX, the gross cost fee before any subsidies and funding will come in at around 2.7K. But after all the eligible funding and subsidy up to 70%, individuals will actually be able to pay at $810 to be able to go through this 41.5 hours course. So similarly, self-sponsored individuals can use SFC to further offset their out-of-pocket fees. So some of y'all might be wondering, how will these courses help individuals and enterprises? So for individuals, firstly, going through WSQ PM and or WSQ UX will be able to help you to prepare for your next job or transition into tech roles in the digital economy. Like what we have shared just now, we are trying to meet the demand in tech, and digital economy is one of the economies earmarked for future development and future demand. So not just that, you will also be able to upskill as a product manager or user experience designer. So it can be in a case whereby you are playing a more operational or supporting role in a product team, but you would like to upskill and take on the position of a product manager or even the user experience designer role. So WSQ PM or WSQ UX will be able to support you in this. And of course, for individuals, you'll be able to attain competency to perform different job roles with the requirements of product management or user experience. And for enterprises, you will be able to equip your team to support digital transformation within your organization. So some of the clients or partners that we have worked with, when we speak to them, they are saying that, hey, we would like to go through digital transformation. We would like to start off small. We like to do something simple. So by going through this course, you'll actually be able to equip your team to support this digital transformation that you have in mind within your organization. It can be something as simple as moving your whole brick and mortar store online. So you need your landing page, you need your pricing, you will need your delivery, logistics, everything to be laid out since you're moving from a physical store to online store. So this is where product managers as well as user experience designers can really help you to really lay out what are the things that needs to be done and what are some of the things that you need to look out for in terms of like moving on to a landing page. Or if let's say you would like to design an app internally for your organization to use, it can also come in the form of product manager support or user experience designer support. And similarly, enterprises will be able to move towards the growth of digital economy, part of the skills demand for future economy, and explore opportunities in new areas with a well-equipped team. So we understand some of the challenges that organizations face is that, hey, we really want to move towards digital transformation, but because we may be a traditional company, we don't know how to start off this transformation. So this is where WSQ PM and WSQ UX can really help them to take the first step towards digital transformation. And of course, last but not least, these WSQ courses will also support the Career Conversion Program for tech professionals, product manager, CCP PM for short. And this is a program by WSG to hire and reskill staffs while receiving salary support. I would like to share a bit more about how WSQ courses that we have will support the CCP PM. And how we are going to do that is to roughly introduce what CCP PM is, as well as what are some of the schemes and eligible criteria that organizations will need to fulfill in order to apply for this CCP PM for maybe their existing hires or even new hires. So first off, CCP PM is actually supported by the program manager SG Tech. So we have worked with SG Tech previously as well. We'll share a bit more later on. And the funding agency comes from Workforce Singapore, and the supporting agency comes from IMDA. So these agencies are working together and pushing out this CCP/PM in order to meet the demands in the local workforce. It may be product manager, it may be sales professional, but in this case, Tech as a program manager, CCP/PM is one of the few career conversion programs that they support. So the career conversion program for product managers is to help mid-career professionals, managers, PMETs in general, to undergo skills conversion and move into new occupations that has good prospects and opportunities for progression. So I kept emphasizing on the digital economy being one of the skills for future demands. So the career conversion program will actually play a role in supporting this, in meeting this demand as well. So for CCP/PM for enterprises, you actually get to have a product manager work with your team, going through OJT, as well as classroom training if you like to, while receiving salary support for up to 45% for around 6 months. So under the new career conversion program model, it is actually eligible for new hires, job redesign, or redeployment. So previously, the CCP/PM is more targeted towards new hires, but under the revamped model and the new model that has just been launched recently, it includes job redesign as well as redeployment now. So like what I've mentioned just now, the salary support really varies from the different eligibility criteria of the trainee as well. And if there's anything that an enterprise would like to find out more, they can definitely get in touch with CuriousCore, and we will link the enterprises up with SG Tech. Or you all can also check in with SG Tech with regards to the different criteria and what are you all looking for. You all may be looking at job redesign, you all may be looking at new hires. All these will need to go through further discussion with SG Tech, as well as checks to make sure that the eligibility criteria and requirements are being met. And then you all can move on to the next step of bringing candidates on for CCP. So similarly, like what I've shared just now with regards to the TSCs for product manager, if you take a look again to refresh your memory, product manager and user experience design falls under the product management job role under the Infocomm Technology skills framework. So what we can do at CuriousCore is we can support CCP/PM organizations through WSQ PM and WSQ UXD, helping individuals to attain competency in the highlighted TSCs via classroom training. So our classroom training is something that has gone through accreditation with SkillsFuture Singapore. That's why it's under WSQ courses now. And we are looking to support different organizations and enterprises who like to send their staff to go through reskilling or understanding of like PM or user experience. So some of you might be thinking, why CuriousCore? Why isn't there other organizations or training providers that you can look to? So for CuriousCore, we have been supporting the tech industry since 2019, and we have a growing alumni community in tech with more than 100 plus graduates from Singapore and Malaysia. In actual fact, our most recent user experience career accelerator, we actually have a learner, if I'm not wrong, from Japan or America. So this is actually a sign of some of our courses reaching beyond just the ASEAN countries. So our course graduates, they come from different programs. They're actually working in different companies like Ninja Vans and Dit, Essential, just to name some of them. And not just that, CuriousCore, we are the only training institution to have conducted training for CCP/PM previously under the old model, whereby more than 10 companies have sent their staff for this training in 2022 alone. So these curriculums that are designed, they are also taught by experienced industry practitioners in respective fields. Both WSQ PM and UX, they also adopt the curriculum from previous CCP PM classroom training, which has received positive feedback from the learners. So we are very confident that the courses as well as the curriculum that we have adopted as well as designed, it will be able to meet the needs of CCP PM or even meet the needs of a self-sponsored individual who would like to join the tech industry. So what are some of the next steps for individuals as well as enterprises? So for individuals, you can sign up for your interest via the following form, and this form will be shared with you in a group in the Zoom chat right now by my colleagues. And if you'd like to find out more information with regards to the course, you can also visit our website or even inquire via email to programs@curiouscore.com. So from there, we'll be able to find out a bit more about what you're looking for, and we'll be able to suggest what are the courses that you may be interested, you may be more suited for. So for employers, if you are interested to become or rather look at the CCP PM model, whereby under this career conversion program, you'll be able to send some of your staff or bring on new hires as a product manager, at the same time receiving salary support. You can also submit your interest in the link, which I believe my colleague has shared in the Zoom chat. So we will link you up with SG Tech, the program partner for CCPPM, which whom we have worked with previously in the old CCPPM model. So they will be able to share more about the eligibility, the application, the funding support, so on and so forth. But if you are an enterprise just looking to find out more information regarding the courses, you can visit our website or just inquire by email for any of the courses, and we will be able to help you with that. Okay. So with that, I've come to the end of my part of the presentation as well as info sharing session. So I would like to take this opportunity to open the floor to ask for any of you all to ask any questions that you would like to find out more about the courses or even the CCPPM. I will try my best to help you with them. I saw a question just now by Dawn. How ready prepared will one be after the PM course, since it's only 5 days? Seems short. Okay. Thanks for your question, Don. So for taking WSQ PM, for example, this 5 days course will actually be a lot on application, practice, discussion, and it's not just all lecture based. So in this situation, we will see that the learner will be able to be prepared to take on or rather step into the tech industry, because at the very least now they know, okay, for PM you need to be agile, you can adopt the Scrum methodology to help you with this. Or if let's say I would like to facilitate a one-to-one conversation with one of your team members, it may be a feedback session, it may be a retrospective session, you can also do so with them. So the idea is to work hand in hand with the learners, whereby they will also do their prep work as or rather their activities and discussions to the best of their abilities to attain these competencies throughout this course itself. So the 5 days is actually like 9 to 6 kind of thing. So effectively you are downloading quite a bit of information, and then through the assessment is also a good time for you to understand how is being how like a PM will think, how a PM should act, how a PM should behave through some of the case studies as well as the oral questioning that each learner will be going through if he or she enrolls for these WSQ courses. So for WSQ UX, like what I've mentioned just now, similarly, there is a lot of practice of the tools that a UX designer will be using. There are a lot of discussion on how to formulate questions for user interviews, how will user interviews work, how will feedback sessions or how will surveys play a big role in building your maybe your prototype or building your your low-fi, mid-fi prototypes that can be able to be brought forth to your C-suite leaders or your team leads to understand, okay, this is the direction we want to go. As an individual, will there be career employment opportunities through CC? Will the assessment be a group work or individual work? Okay. To answer your first question, as an individual, will there be employment opportunities through CuriousCore? So we do have an alumni chat whereby we have some of our previous business partners, and they are looking that, hey, they will get in touch with us, CuriousCore, saying that, hey, we are actually looking to hire a junior product manager. We are looking to hire a junior user experience designer. So if they are interested, they can actually send the job roles to us, and we will share this with our alumni community. So this is more towards the post-program support beyond the course itself. But as individuals, if you are interested to look at like employment opportunities, you can actually state in the interest form that we have shared just now under like remarks or inputs, and we may be able to direct you to say CCPPM enterprises who are looking to hire under the career conversion program. So that has been something that we worked with SG Tech previously, and we'll try to continue to work on that. So we will try to provide the necessary support after the course itself to share some of the resources that we may have existing or new for the learners. Will the assessment be a group or individual work? So for the case study assessment as well as the oral questioning, both of them are individual. Are there any questions? Any other questions? You can unmute your mic if you like to, or you can just type it in the chat box as well.
Hi, Jack. Can you hear me?
Hi, yes.
Just wondering, like for both programs, right? Like when do the programs start? Is there a specific date that we need to apply by?
Okay, so for the program for WSQ UX, it will, WSQ UX, it will start on 14th February. So the registration dates, it will end 1 week before 13th February. So let me just do a quick check on my calendar. It will end on 5th February. The registration will close on 5th February for WSQ UX, and for WSQ PM, the registration will close on 3rd January 2023. Will there be a portfolio case studies at the end of the UX program? Okay, for portfolio, we will be able to see that learners are able to come up with some form of prototype for the time being for the 5 days program. It will most probably be like a low-fi or mid-fi prototype due to the time that we are working with. So it's not so much of having a portfolio, because there's not much, or rather a lot of the case studies, or rather a lot of the discussions that we have is more towards like discussion and then coming out with something together. So I won't say that there is a portfolio, but at a very same time, you will be able to acquire the knowledge of different tools like Figma, for example, to start building on a portfolio that you're interested in. Will there be sharing sessions by industry practitioners? Okay, for this WSQ course, it is not inside the course itself, but we as CuriousCore, we have always been sharing different like podcasts, seminars, webinars, info sessions, in terms of like product management, user experience, agile. So for this, you can actually go to our website. Devian or Logesh, maybe you can share the link to our podcast so that some of them will be able to access them as well. Based on the current industry trend, are work arrangements remote or are most companies back to office or hybrid? Don, for this question, is really based on different companies. We will not be able to give a definite answer on that because it's subjective from one company to another. And for the PM track for enterprises, is the start date the same? Yes, the start date is the same for enterprises or individual. So just to let you all know, this WSQ course is not a one run thing. So we will constantly be running it throughout 2023, but our first run will be happening on January 2023. So it actually works in tandem with the CCP PM for product managers. So enterprises, maybe they will sign up candidates to start CCP PM on December. Then they send the candidates for the run on January. So all these courses are public runs, but we may expect some enterprise individuals that are coming in from the CCP PM organizations to go through these runs together with us. Are there any other questions? Okay, if there are no other questions, I'd like to thank all of you all for your time and appreciate you, all of you coming into this session and listening to what we have to say, as well as share this launch of the WSQ courses together. So similarly, like what we have shared just now, if you are interested, you can you can just enter one of the links below, and then you can just write in your interest and we'll follow up from them. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good day.